The next morning comes quickly. The rest and Hanako's company have proved effective in lifting my spirits. Hanako seems to feel the same. I stir my hydrated eggs and bacon with my spoon, mindlessly glancing at my surroundings. Hanako is to my right and Kenji to my left. We eat in silence, the only audible sound being the yellow ceiling lights. It's pretty easy to forget that this room was part of a bunker. It's nice. So that's part of a fucking World War II era fucking Japanese bunker. Or maybe it's maybe that's what Kenji did. He redesigned this shit. So he spent like a lot of money into fucking just refurbishing this fucking random bunker in the middle of nowhere. And he put like this wall length fucking couch, snakes all around to the other side. Like I just don't understand, man. I don't understand. So, dude, what's our next course of action? Oh, you're gonna love this. Today we're all gonna go back to Yamaku. I ordered the train tickets back already. We'll be back at school by noon. Wait, why? Are you disappointed now? I don't want to do it either. The bunker is so much roomier than the dorms. It's not that I'm upset that we have to go back to school. I'm just curious as to what makes you want to go back all of a sudden. Glad you asked. I stayed awake all night trying to come up with a way to find out how to disarm those bombs. And then it hit me, just like that. Go back to school and find the other 6 feminists. They would know, obviously. I'm surprised I had to spend an entire night coming up with that. It's sort of depressing, but that's not what matters right now. Good point. When are we leaving? Whenever you want to. I've got the tickets. Here. He reaches into his pocket and hands Hanako and our train tickets. The train leaves at 9:30 a.m. It's currently 8:16 a.m. That's pretty fucking early. So, I mean, they can't just leave whenever. They have to leave they have to leave by 9:30 a.m. And, like, literally it's like a time. It's not like fucking trains just take off whenever. The ticket, you can't just, like, there's no grasp of, like, it's just like we can leave whenever you want to. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, 9:30, you have to leave by 9:30. You have to show up before 9:30. The train's gonna fucking leave. Like, you can't just have a ticket and it just works out that way. Oh, you can just go for the 8:30 at night fucking train instead of the 9:30 in the morning train, you know. But as long as you have a ticket, it just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. That's not how it works, right? I mean, unless maybe it's different in Japan or whatever, but I don't think the fucking person who wrote this was thinking about that at the time. I mean, I know that's like really pedantic of me. I know that I'm being like an asshole and like nitpicking on that, but this is just such an inconsistent like fan fiction, and it's really boring too. Like I don't know. It's just boring as shit. I'm ready to leave now if you want to. Hisao? All set here. Cool, let's roll. The train ride was long and uneventful. Kind of like this fucking fanfiction, man. Kind of like this fucking long-ass fucking presentation that doesn't even... Fucking PowerPoint presentation that doesn't even make any goddamn sense. Small talk came on and off, and the scenery was a blur. The 3 of us were all still processing yesterday's events. Lily survived the explosion, but Emmy never came out. Does that mean that Emmy wasn't a feminist like Kenji thought? Was she just a normal teenage girl whose dreams went up in flames along with the rest of her life? It's a real obsession with dreams here. Dreams and hopes and dreams and all that future fucking shit. I push the painful thought aside as I step off the train and onto the station platform. I have to focus on the future. I have to focus on Hanako. Need help, Hanako? Whoops. Just a little bit. I take her hand and balance her as she leaps onto the platform beside me. The sensation of her hand is nice, so we keep them interlocked. I look over to her and grin. She flashes a smile back and her cheeks redden a bit. Desire kicks in. Ah, dude, this is fucking gross, man. This is just fucking cringe, man. Okay, like, God. I move closer to Hanako and get ready to kiss, and then Kenji showed up. Damn. Fucking good. Whoops. Sorry to be a cock blocker, dude, but we're kind of tight on time. Later, though, I promise. Ah, fuck. Hanako and I exchange amused glances and follow Kenji's back to Yamaku. It takes us 20 minutes to arrive at the school. The gates take me back to the days of bliss, when Hanako, Lily, and I went shopping in the city. Before any of this, that's all they ever did was like shop in the city, apparently. And I bet he was such a cuck that they made him pay. The 2 girls made him fucking pay for everything they bought too. That was like the only good moment in his entire life. That was a fucking peak of his like fucking miserable existence. And that's it. That's it. That's the whole fucking thing. It ends here. There's no text on this, so I'm assuming that whoever made this didn't finish it. So there you have it. That's the whole thing. That's Katawa Shoujo Kenji edition. It's a shitty fan fiction that's 549 slides long. It's a fucking PowerPoint presentation. They might have done it. Like, I don't know why the fuck they would make like a PowerPoint instead of just like writing something like a story like most people would. But I mean, like on the whole, I thought it was pretty all right. I would give it like a 4 out of 10 because it was. I mean, like it was all right in that like I could have. It was fun to read. Like, I guess it was like fun to read, but at the same time, there's so many problems with it, and not to mention the fact that it's unfinished too. So I take 3 stars off for it being unfinished. No, here I'll go one by one. I'll do. This is the analysis part that I was trying to analyze it as I went. I don't think that was very good. I kind of fucked the pacing up when I did that. But now I want to try to analyze this like piece by piece to try to really understand like just what the fuck this shit was, because it wasn't good. It wasn't like the other one. It wasn't like the fucking Powerpuff Girls one, which was actually kind of fucking interesting and like funny. Like at least that one was like so cringeworthy. You could just laugh at it. This one you can't though. This one's not good at all. It's broken up into acts that don't make any sense. So, like, this is Act 1, apparently. This comes in at 24 slides in. So, I don't know. That just doesn't seem like a good place to start your first act off. I feel like it should have put it, like, it just doesn't seem right. And that's all one act, too. Not to mention the fact that that's all literally one act. So, from slide 24 to, like, from slide 24. Oh, God, my fucking laptop's heating up, too. So you guys are going to hear that whirring as I try to fucking talk about this shit. Not that it matters, though. Believe me, I don't think it really matters. But from slide 24 to 307, that's a whole act. That's the whole first act. And then Act 2, that's from that to the very end. So, I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a good kind of pacing. So, like, the pacing's all fucked up. But let's talk about, like, the real problems here, right? The real problem. There are a lot of problems with this. Because, for one, first of all, I'm taking away. Okay, so let's organize our thoughts here for a second. I'm sorry, but this thing's fucked my head up so much that I just can't think right now. I've been reading it for way too long. Okay, this would literally drive anyone insane. But I think the first problem is just how boring it is. Like, and what I mean by that, like, like obviously, like a lot of edgy shit happens. Like a lot of stupid things happen. Like, I get what they're trying to go for here. Anon and Anon, whoever wrote this, I understand. Like, I understand what they were trying to go for. They were trying to do something where it was like, I guess this is just a regular, like, dating sim game or whatever. From what I've heard, it's just a game where you go around dating, like, disabled girls at a school, special school for disabled people or whatever, right? And so I get it. It's like a very normal kind of slice of life story, but like that's the source material. And so then to like make a fan fiction where you like amp up everything and like make it this big fucking just extravaganza or whatever, just a bunch of crazy shit happening all at the same time. Sometimes that works because it's funny, right? And it's like a parody. It's like a satire kind of, rather than like a genuine continuation or like at least an attempt at continuing the story or whatever, right? You can see, we have like the fucking strip club. We have, Kenji being a dumbass. We have, all this stupid shit going on. A fucking BlackBerry phone. You have them getting arrested. You have the fucking SWAT team. You have the terrorists. It's like, yeah, that's all fine and good, but like they're barely even in it. And the pacing doesn't make any sense at all. So that's another thing I take on is the pacing too. Because why is this like terrorist prison scene only like 20 slides long? Not even, it's like 5 slides. It's not even really that long at all. It's barely anything. It's like one conversation, and then boom, the terrorists come, break them out, and the SWAT team comes, and they have like a show off. It's off camera though too, so you don't even get to see it really. So we don't even get to see like what happens, and then they're wandering around through the woods and stuff. It's just like, I get that it doesn't really need to make sense, obviously, because it's not even like a legitimate thing. It's like it's an unofficial work, obviously. It's just something someone did, someone's random fucking passion project or whatever. But it doesn't even seem like it has any passion to it. That's the thing. It either seems like they're just really incompetent or like they just didn't give a shit. And so I can't give a shit either. So that's what I take. I take 1 star off for being boring and like fucking pointless. Because it's unfinished too. That's another. It's fucking unfinished. So I take another star off for being unfinished too. Why would you upload it online if you're not even gonna fucking finish it? You can't drag us through over 500 slides of this shit and then not end it. So that's already. I take 2 stars off. That's 2 stars gone. 3rd star is the pacing because it's just fucked. 4th star the characterization. The writing of the characters is just fucking even war. It's just completely any semblance of logic or realism or whatever is just tossed completely out the window entirely, and it's not even funny too. This thing takes itself way too seriously. I feel like I don't feel like this is just me, but I don't feel like Hisao is like the main character. The green guy, with the green text. This motherfucker. I don't feel like his like hypocrisy and his holier than thou like white knight attitude. Being a fucking little cuck boy, like trying to stand up for the feminists and all that shit, and like literally every possible opportunity he gets to fucking toss Kenji under the fucking bus, he takes it. He fucking hates this guy. He's such a little bitch. He's a fucking worm, little weasel. But like, I feel like that's not how it is, because like you have these these moments of apparently sincere like romance or whatever between him and Hanako, the burnt chick, right? So I don't feel like it's ironic. I don't think like it's supposed to be ironic. I think that whoever wrote this, I feel like whoever wrote this is trying to be this guy. I feel like this is a self-insert kind of thing. Even though this is a character from an actual thing already, I feel like the author of this is trying to embody this guy. This is like a Mary Sue kind of person. It's a male Mary Sue, self-insert piece of shit. Wish fulfillment, but like that's only a part of it. At the same time, you could also view it as just a shitty character design, but that's what I like to think. I like to think that at the bottom of this was like some weird underlying like wish fulfillment, but instead of just being that, just straight up like something like Sanshu or something, instead it's turned into this like weird mishmash of other shit too. Because on top of that, you've got this like fucking satirical plot. You've got this like big feminist conspiracy. You've got like the things actually coming true too. So he's not just crazy. Kenji's not actually insane. He's proven justified by the fact that these fucking girls are like aliens from another planet. Some fucking fucked up religion that requires them to kill every person every man on Earth apparently, right? And like basically indoctrinate the fucking females of whatever planet they travel to, right? So I mean, that's that. There's like that aspect of the story, but then there's this aspect of the story, which is like the love, So it's like it's such a weird fucking hybrid, but it's like I don't know. It just these two elements, they're horrible on their own as it is. They're bad enough on their own as it is. But to put them together is to just really fuck up your story. So I take another star away for that, for trying to, I guess, the writing, for trying to put these two things together that just don't go at all. They don't fit. They're both shitty on their own anyway, so to put them together just make them even worse, right? So now you've got this like fucking terrible hybrid of just pure fucking ass juice, all right? You've got, like, I don't understand. Like, you've got this shitty self-insert fucking Mary Sue relationship romance, whatever. This like, the author, trying to fucking get with their waifu. This is like an attempt to get closer to their waifu after the game ended or whatever. That's the first part. And then the second part, again, is like this shitty, shoddy story that doesn't even like amount to anything. You have the strip club. It doesn't last for very long. This scene doesn't last for very long. This scene doesn't last for very long at all. It all goes away, and then you have this like pointless fucking thing with the stalker living in this fucking cabin in the woods. He's like a normal guy, but then Kenji flips his shit and he kills him. So then what is Kenji? Like, what does this scene prove? That Kenji was batshit crazy? Was this supposed to lure us into like a false sense of security with this guy? Was this supposed to get us to like believe that Kenji was actually insane? So that when, by the time we figure out that he's actually right, we're supposed to be all surprised. Is that what this was? Was that like grooming us for the fucking twist? Because it didn't work for me. I don't think it worked for anyone because it's so shit. None of these scenes seem to relate at all. It's just one stupid thing after the other, and it can't decide what it wants to be. It should have either been like, I don't have any advice on how to fucking fix this because I think it's fucking broken beyond repair. I think the only way to really make this good was to like not make it at all. But my advice, okay, like my critique. So I'm gonna leave it with a 5 out of 10 stars. I'm gonna be reasonable. All right, I was gonna give it another star for something, but I can't really remember what it was. Maybe just general incoherence and inconsistency. But I'm just gonna group that with the writing. So at the end of the day, 5 out of 10 stars. It's not bad. That's a half score. I mean, it's failing, but 50% is better than 0%. That's all I gotta say. But to end it off, I guess, to give you like a little, to like go out with a little critique or whatever, how this could have been improved, how this could have been fixed. I think that what it really needed to be, if anything, I mean, again, I apologize for not being too overly familiar with the source material, but it's like, if anything, this should have just been a parody. Because I feel like it was supposed to be a parody. It looks kind of like this is like some this is an old-fashioned meme on the cover. You assume that this is what it's going to be like. This is like the tone, right? But it takes itself too seriously, and it has too many self-insert moments, with the fucking waifu or whatever. So it's like, how can you do that? You can't do both. I feel like it takes itself way too seriously. I feel like it should have just been an all-out parody. It should have been just stupid fucking thing after stupid thing, It should have been dumb shit like this, like the strip club scene. This should have been the tone of the entire thing. But then it tries to get more mature. It tries to like develop its own lore and everything. And then all the while there's this fucking like underlying fucking bullshit where, the self-insert romance is just it doesn't belong there. It would have been so much better if this had just been a dumbass fucking story with stupid shit and like a parody of the original. That would have been fine, And I honestly, I would have read the whole thing if he had finished it too. So he or she, so whoever fucking wrote this, can you fucking finish your shit before you upload it online? Because like I should have probably read this beforehand too, but now I feel like an asshole because I just like I spent like 6 videos fucking making this shit. And now there's nothing. So there's nothing either. So that's my other bit of advice. Finish your fucking fan fiction if you're gonna upload it onto the internet. But yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing. You shouldn't have been so serious about it, man. You shouldn't have put your little fucking self-insert character in there. It would have been so much better had it just been like a big parody. It would have been funny. It would have been kind of like the other one. I mean, the other one was like another kind of self-insert romance thing. Or no, man, that one wasn't really self-insert. I feel like the other one, Powerpuff Girls one, was like... I feel like that was just like a shipping kind of fan fiction, but it was still funny, And it still had something to it. And like it actually had a bit of coherency. I'm like shocked that I'm even trying to like legitimately fucking critique any of these things. And like it does kind of depress me that that's what I turn to as like... That's what I turn to as like a model for like a good piece of writing. Jesus Christ. But I mean, like, seriously though, this is a terrible fucking... It's just terrible. Like, I don't really know what else to say, man. I'm running in circles here because there's not enough to go off of on this, but it's just, all in all, it's just a really bad thing, and I don't know why it exists. Because it's not even funny enough to justify making videos about. So at the end of the day, I've just wasted my time. And yours as well. I apologize for that. But yeah, I mean, hopefully the next one we read is a lot less boring. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Fuck this story. Do better next time.